Hey guys, Mike here for Rapid Purple. So doing my follow-up video that I said I would do when I get this $30 keyboard in from Newegg, which finally came in. And I admit I did open up the actual packaging before doing this video, but you'll kind of see why when we get into it. So, here's what I ended up getting. Well, I guess this would be the mouse, because it was 30 bucks, free shipping, mouse included, Aula, Aula, anyway, for the keyboard brand. Now, all of this just kind of came, granted, from a warehouse here in the States, wrapped in a regular manila envelope, which I guess they glued right to the box, because this was the only way to get this whole thing opened. Which I guess is okay. Made in China stickers all over the place, and pretty much the majority of your text in places is Chinese with rough English translations, which are kind of funny. So the strengthen the space bar, born for game, I get means that the space bar is, I guess, more reinforced than usual, so you can smack on it while gaming. But it's just funny how that ends up getting translated. Other than that, nothing else exceptional or extraordinary here. But again, keep in mind this is $30 for a mouse and the keyboard, so we're not expecting the same thing as the Razer Black Widow casing and everything else that was in the previous video, which if you didn't see, I'll link below or in a card or in one of those things that pop up. Anyway, let's get this thing done. Let's see what we got in here. So definitely nothing like the Razer Black Widow packaging, which, I mean, they went ridiculously out of the norm, I guess, to make it nice and perfect. But again, for 30 bucks, we're not expecting craziness here. Couple of clear keys, which are interesting. We'll have to play with what we can do with that. And then a tool to remove keycaps. That's cool. Nothing else here. A little... Okay, that part's in English. That part's in Russian. My user warranty card. Interesting. And then my Aula, I guess, instruction manual for this keyboard. Yeah, product specs, technical specs. Okay, cool. So I guess that's all that really comes in the box. Let's get that out of the way. And let's see what we have. So my lighting here isn't as great as in the office. I'm doing this from the house. But I mean, it looks honestly like pretty much every other standard, simple, regular keyboard that I've ever gotten for free with any system. I will say that I much prefer this font to the kind of robotic tech futuristic look of the Black Widow Razer. Well, these obviously aren't mechanical keys, and I guess now that I have been spoiled by mechanical keyboards, the feel of this sucks to me, honestly. A, because you don't hear them. B, you don't really get much of a tactical kind of feedback when you actually hit them. You have that like generic like key press feeling. I couldn't even know what to tell, how to describe it, but definitely not a fan. But you know, granted, I spent ages and ages and ages using keyboards like this, so I'm sure if I had to do it, it wouldn't be much of an issue for me. I'm really just being picky now that I have a mechanical keyboard. But that's, apart from that, I mean, the keys are very silent. This thing is ridiculously light. It's not as light as the Lenovo keyboard. Oh, hey, we have a guest. We have a guest. Benya has decided to join the video. He has a small cone on him because he's got a little spot.
We're filming.
He's got a little spot, and I don't want him to reach it and lick it until it heals. But I guess he decided to join the video. So it's definitely not as light as the Lenovo, which was kind of the last keyboard I had before switching to mechanical. Again, if you guys haven't seen that video, check it out. There should be a card popping up on the screen right now, which you guys can click on to go forth through that. But definitely watch that. I'll give you kind of what I started off doing, which Lenovo keyboard I keep talking about, and what has caused me to switch to mechanical keyboards now. But anyway, it's definitely not as light as that. It is, however, nowhere near as heavy as the Black Widow Razor that I'm currently utilizing. So I guess it's probably medium weight compared to that. These seem to have the same exact kind of weird texture that the Lenovo one had, which, if you guys remember, ended up rubbing off after about 6 months worth of use, and I had like very just clear black in places, and the rest had textures on it. To be honest, I expect this to do the same exact thing, because it kind of seems to be in that same price range of keyboards, and it looks and feels much in the same exact way. So I expect that to do that. Couldn't tell you I see anything else really, just kind of going over it and looking at it. It is comfortable. I guess so long as your hand isn't any bigger than mine. To be honest with you, it would probably be even better if it was smaller. So like, I can see where they want you to use the little palm rest thing. However, if I properly rest my palm on it, I can only comfortably really use the number keys and maybe the top row at best. So using this for, you know, if you're actually gaming with this quote-unquote gaming keyboard and you were on your WASD keys, my sized palm, I mean, is just on the table. It's really doing nothing with the palm rest. So those aren't doing much for me. I envisioned they did for somebody, or maybe somebody younger, or maybe somebody smaller, but for me it does absolutely nothing. Single USB, nothing as fancy again as the Razor, but again, we are in a significantly different price range. It is a simple cord, so I don't envision to have the same problems hiding this wire as I did with the Razor Black Widow. And that's primarily it. Simple keyboard on the back. It's got a couple of, you know, sticks for you to utilize to keep your things raised, and that's it. Seems like it would be a waterproof design, as there are vent holes coming up all through the bottom. And then if you kind of look in it, it's hard to really capture onto camera, but you can kind of see that everything underneath just falls into this white tray, which goes out through the vent holes. So yeah, we'll have to get this thing plugged in, see what it looks like. Everything should be backlit, and it should have several different modes, several different colors. So we'll play with that and see what that's like. To be honest, I mean, for this point so far, as long as the backlighting is, I mean, bright enough and really functions, I'd say that this is probably the simplest and the cheapest way to get a backlit keyboard and just have a little bit of fun with things on your desk without going out and getting, you know, a $100 mechanical keyboard. But let's see what it's like once it's plugged in. We'll get back to that one. For now, let's take a look at the mouse that was somewhere over here that came with this. Interestingly enough, not in a branded box at all. The keyboard's going to magically move now. That's it, it's magically moved. And it's magically being typed on.
It's perfect for my hand.
In the background. Oh, well good, you can, well there you go, we found whose hands it works perfect on. So that's LovelyyLana.
Look.
You guys should, I'll link to her channel below.
See, like I can reach everything.
Yeah, okay, so clearly this works great for girls. So, for people with feminine hands. Somebody's gonna leave some hate comment thanks to that.
Why?
Okay, and then we got the mouse. That came in some bubble wrap in an empty white box. Which weighs all new pieces of technology he has to confirm and look over and make sure that they are okay. This is quality control at my house, really. Up. The mouse is not good quality. It did not pass the test. I mean, the mouse honestly weighs nothing. Legitimately nothing. I don't know whether I like that or not. I'm not using a fancy mouse right now. I am using a free, simple optical mouse from Lenovo. Also, actually came with that old keyboard. And honestly, I think even that has a little bit more weight to it than this. The button presses on here are definitely something where I'm going to hit these by accident a lot. Just because they are so light to press. I guess primarily on the sides here, we'll have to see kind of what that really acts and feels like. The mouse is also supposed to light up. We'll, obviously see how that functions. What do we got? We got a key over there, our two main keys. We obviously have our wheel, which clicks. Okay, it doesn't go side to side, only clicks. DPI button. Two mouses here. That's it. That's all we really got. I will say that this is kind of nice. It's a little bit texturized. This gives a little bit of a not slip feel on your hands. That's pretty much that. 7 keys. Did I count 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess this counts as their 7 key, the DPI key. Unless I'm missing one. Nope, that's it. I mean, it's cool. Again, considering this whole entire thing was $30 altogether, it's not bad. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out what brand the mouse is, because I don't see this mouse having anything to do with Aula, which is the name of the keyboard. So I guess they just throw it in there. But quality control passed, apparently. Well, we'll see what the mouse ends up looking like and what both of these things end up looking like once we get them plugged in and functioning. And, well, I got to get these into the office and plug them in, see what it looks like. Alright, so we got things hooked up, plugged in, installed. Granted, it took a couple minutes to get everything working, which probably has more to do with my ancient half-alive laptop than it does with these actual pieces. But they work flawlessly, no issues there. Here's what we got noticed so far. First off, lighting looks cool. Now, I read a couple of reviews and comments that people have posted about this Aula keyboard. And probably one of the biggest pet peeves for people seems to be not being able to turn off the backlighting. Or people that think they got the blue version of this keyboard. And I can understand the confusion because the actual booklet that this comes with has very little understandable English in it. However, so the function plus the 5 key will let you change the colors, so you don't have just the blue or purple or red version. You have blue, purple, or red. Choose which one you want. By the way, they call this pink. To me, it looks purple. Now, you can also go through various different settings. So right now, you can see that this is on the breathing setting, which I think should have been called pulsating. But whatever. This is the breathing mode. Now, function 8 and function 2 will let you kind of go between those things. So breathing is the last mode, quote unquote. So if we go and hit function 8 anymore, it doesn't do anything because this is the last option. There's nowhere else to go. If we press function plus the 2 key, we'll start going down through the other mode. So this is our 100% backlighting mode. Hit it again, we have 50% backlighting, and hit it once more, and we can completely turn off the backlighting and have what is a simple keyboard. So that's that. Oh, now if you see, I replaced the escape key with one of the see-through ones. I just wanted to see what it looks like, and I'll show you guys that one later. And then we have the mouse. Lights shine in through here, as well as through the other side over there, and they're not really kind of synced together in any way, shape, or form. So while one, while one could be one color, the other one could be another color, and so forth, which doesn't really bug me. I haven't figured out a way to control any of the lighting in there yet, and I don't see there to be any software whatsoever for this mouse, so I don't see there being a way to actually change what any of the keys do, and I'm sure in various games and so forth you'll be able to set custom things to them, but for not gaming use, I can't do a damn thing with these keys. These do not function as forward or back, at least in Google Chrome, where I did check them. The only thing that this key over here does is whatever I highlighted and I click this, it selects. So, for example, here is some sample typing that Lana did. Very interesting. And if I, go on to quick and I hit that key, it'll just go ahead and select it. So pretty much whatever I put my mouse over and hit, this thing will just select. And that's that. Now the DPI button does work. It, does not, and I wish it did, appear something on screen to actually tell me that I made a difference. But, so if we see the mouse right now, and I click it once, this is how it moves. I'm barely moving. If I click it again, it's a little bit faster. Whoop. And that's, barely movement and a hell of a lot of movement. And click it one more time, and now we're barely moving. So the DPI setting does work, does do stuff. And then the typing, doesn't really have much of an issue. As we can see, Lana typed things away perfectly fine. To be honest, she'll probably end up keeping this keyboard when I'm done, since I'll keep playing with the mechanical one and enjoying that one. But there doesn't seem to be much issues as far as typing. Again, doesn't feel anything like a mechanical keyboard. If you've never typed on a mechanical keyboard, you will have absolutely no problems with this. It's great, it's simple, it's straightforward. It's light key presses, it's extremely silent. It will probably be great in an office environment. If you want to game in your office so nobody can hear you, probably be pretty awesome for that. Let's turn on the backlighting right on to 100%, and I wanted to show you what this looks like at nighttime, because this actually does pretty cool things. So, well, not so much nighttime, but the lights being off. So we have the lights off. The escape key looks cool, with me having replaced it with one of the clear keys that come with the keyboard, and it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, with 8 in total, which I'm guessing I could do the WASD and the arrow keys. But that's cool. What is pretty awesome about this is that it has, or at least it creates ambient lighting. So I have this in a very cramped desk with a laptop shining right over here and kind of ruining some of the lighting. But if we imagined having this on a nice clean desktop, like hopefully many of you do, it has this panel right on the back that shoots off light. Interestingly enough, right up there is a dead spot. I guess that's where the lights for that come in. But it shoots off light, so when you have that up on your desk, And in my office, I have a black desk, so that would probably look very cool. But it creates this ambient lighting effect. Now, the whole bottom of this keyboard is also lit up, so this ambient effect ends up also shining through to the side and so forth. And if we just kind of try to capture that down there, really all around, we end up with this ambient lighting effect. And that's because the bottom ends up completely lit up, which is well, it's pretty cool looking. Pretty cool looking. Now, if we have this up on its legs, so right now I have this laying flat, and I'm not using the legs that come with it, because honestly they just feel very flimsy. But if we have that even up a little bit more like that, so it's a little bit at an incline, it creates a very cool ambient lighting effect, which, I mean, I like. The mouse is very dull when it comes to lighting. And it really also matters kind of what angle you look at it from to see if you really see things on it. I mean, I guess it's really not that bad, considering the fact that this is primarily covered with your hand most of the time. You'll only see a tiny bit over there. It's probably not even the best places to have created that lighting, but it's okay. And considering that this whole entire thing is $30, it's pretty much a great, bang for your buck. Now, what I was going to kind of list as a pet peeve of mine was that you can't really see the mouse wheel when it lights up. So you can see that right now, it does have a tiny bit of ambient lighting to it, which seems to just kind of be shining through from the light on the right-hand side. But as soon as we move it, it lights up and shines through in red, which I guess shows the light from the LED on the base of it shining through. Which is, I mean, that's cool. I did actually just notice that that whole entire side ends up shining a little bit of the red through as well. So it's cool. It just creates a bunch of lights when you hold it with your hand. It makes it look like your hand's almost glowing a little bit, which is interesting. So that's pretty much that. There's honestly not much else I could say about the keyboard, because there's honestly not much else of anything that it does, keyboard or mouse. For the $30 that it costs, you know what? If it doesn't bother you that it's not mechanical, I'd say it's a steal. Grab it. Backlighting is very nice, very bright. You got your 3 different modes. You got your several different colors. It's great that it comes with clear keys that you can kind of replace and have a little bit of a customization effect going on for yourself. The mouse is, so it's okay. But as far as the whole thing goes, as a whole, I mean, listen, for the $30 you get it for with free shipping, I'd say it's a steal. If you don't mind the fact that it's not mechanical, it's an awesome keyboard. It's great. It's quiet. The backlighting is great. The mouse works. The DPI functions work. If I was a gamer, I'm sure that all these keys on the side would work. I don't game, so for me they do nothing. But it looks great. It looks cool. Create some ambient lighting. I'll put the link to where I found it below. If you want it, buy it. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, do all that fun crap, and see you soon.